Listen to this. Today I'm gonna teach you something that only wealthy people know and do. Something that only wealthy people know and something only wealthy people do. The middle class and poor, they sell their time to make money and they also sell their assets to get money. While the wealthy borrow against their assets, ultimately never owing a dollar for the money because they don't have to pay taxes on the money. So therefore, it's two different mentalities. Let's say you own $1 million in stocks. The middle class, while the poor would sell it, thinking they actually getting money on their money. But that would trigger something called a capital gains tax, which is about 20%. So therefore, if you made $1 million, you would have to pay about $200,000 or more on the money you earn. But on the other hand, the rich, they don't sell their stocks, they borrow against their portfolio, which is no capital gains tax. In most cases, the interest is tax deductible. And lastly, the stocks keep compounding. Therefore, they use their portfolio to get liquidated without even having to cash out. It's called securities backed line of credit. For those who are in the industry, they understand it's called S-Block. The stocks can be used as collateral, and you can borrow anywhere from 50, in some cases even 90% of your portfolio. This phenomenon is being used daily by the very wealthy, while the unwealthy sells and don't make money on their money. But meanwhile, the wealthy leverage their portfolios to ultimately barter and make more money. No selling equals no tax. No tax equals more capital. This is why most rich people, they look broke on paper. The poor mentality, have $1 million, sell the stocks, and ultimately trigger a capital gains tax, walk away with it. So you ask me right now, what can you use the money for? You can use the money to buy real estate, to fund businesses or start businesses, to buy more stocks. And since the money is a loan, that means it's not considered income, which means it's tax deductible. Then you ask me, okay, how do you pay back the loan? The whole concept of bartering against your portfolio is to create new income, so therefore you offset your expenses by keeping the money in your same portfolio. So it's just basically saying that you have $1 million and you're borrowing against your $1 million, and now you're not even selling your $1 million, so you still have your $1 million and you have money that backs the money, so therefore they will lend you more money. There's a loophole also when you pass away. It's called the step-up basis. It's a generational loophole. When the borrower passes away, right, the loan disappears. The heirs to your portfolio get the stock at current market value and no tax on the previous earned money. The IRS call it legal and the wealthy call it genius. You're taxed when you earned. You're taxed when you sell. The rich never sell, so therefore they're not taxed. Think about it. Most people work for money, while the wealthy understand leveraging money. Leveraging money is how you keep money. Stocks are created to earn, loans are created to fund lifestyle, but the assets are never supposed to leave the board or the game, no matter what. Even guys like Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Facebook, did it. He borrowed a loan, I think it was like $5.95 million against his stocks. And you know what he did with it? One, he bought real estate. Two, he paid almost zero money in taxes. And that's the theory. It's a strategy. Middle class have a mentality they'll sell for freedom, while the wealthy, they borrow for their freedom. They have a mentality to ultimately keep investing and borrowing money to make them more money, so they're not taxed as gains. Now that you know, selling stocks is for fools. Borrowing against it can build an empire. You don't need to be a billionaire. You just have to have the mentality of the wealthy, and then you can mirror the success, maybe at a smaller scale, but ultimately at your own scale. Share this video and don't let that go over your head.